Shana Tova. A story is told about a group of Jews praying in a synagogue. The setting is Eastern Europe during a time of great anti-Semitism. On Rosh Hashanah, as the Jews take out the Torah and begin to read the holy text, a local official bangs on the door of the shul. The official, angry by the palpable joy felt within the synagogue, began to yell, "Hear me! You Jews think you're so smart and clever? If you can't answer the following question by Yom Kippur, death will be your sentence." He continued, "You tell me your God isn't one of idols or images. So tell me, what does God look like?" The congregants began to speak in nervous tones. This was a question without an answer. But the man repeated, "What does God look like? And if you don't have an answer by Kol Nidre, you won't live to see another Erev Rosh Hashanah." He left and slammed the door behind him. The Jews turned to the rabbi with horror. What answer could possibly suffice? They knew they couldn't name a person or make a statue. This wasn't the Jewish way, nor would the official accept some made-up story. So the rabbi took a walk in the woods to contemplate the situation. As the rabbi walked, perplexed and frightened over the possibility of the official returning, he stumbled over a rock. The rabbi got up. His eye turned toward a creek where water had been hidden from sight. He slowly walked over, looked into the creek, and saw his own face looking back at him. The rabbi smiled. He had an answer. True to his word, the official of the city returned on Kol Nidre. He bellowed before the congregation, "What does God look like?" And the rabbi stood up and held a mirror in his hands. He went to the official and said, "Look into the mirror, and you will see your answer. God looks like you. God looks like me, like every human being, because each one of us was made in the image of God. God isn't one of us. We don't have that power. But God is reflected in each of us, and we must remember that always." The official, shocked by the eloquence of the rabbi's answer, turned to leave and took the mirror with him. I have no idea if that's a true story. The official strikes me as rather well-informed, and his Hebrew was pretty good too. But Yom Kippur is a mirror. It is a rare and apparently unique ritual, a day of communal confession, not in a private, protected space that is safe, not in the heart alone, but exposed in public, to say aloud for all to hear and see, "We have made a ton of mistakes. And to be honest, we need to do better." I think the world needs a little Yom Kippur, don't you? What astonishes me about the vidui, the confession that we're about to say together in a few minutes, tonight and tomorrow, multiple times, is the insistence by the liturgists that we own these sins. We can comb through this ritual, and nowhere will we find anything to suggest that they made me do it. He made me do it. It's her fault. That is nowhere here. We are all flawed, easily led astray. We fall down, and we are given this space to help each other get up and to raise ourselves. But it isn't just this one night a year and tomorrow, this one day, where we have an opportunity to make amends, to hold up the mirror and say, I need to change some things. Every single day in traditional Jewish life, in the sixth blessing of the weekday Amidah, there is a prayer for forgiveness. We said it every day growing up at davening at the Hebrew Academy. And I can remember a couple of my classmates vigorously pounding their chests when we said the words, "Forgive us, we have transgressed." The traditional wording is, "Forgive us, our Father, for we have sinned. Pardon us, our King, sovereign, for we have willfully transgressed. You pardon and forgive. Blessed are you, Adonai, who is gracious and ever willing to forgive." Some of you have already beaten the breast, as it were, striking the heart when saying the words, "We have sinned," or "We have transgressed." The practice is explained by the rabbis in Kohelet Rabbah that striking the heart symbolizes the ancient idea, the very traditional Jewish notion that every thought and deed originates in the heart. Western thinking, of course, views the mind as the source of our impulses, but in Jewish thought, it is the heart from which our actions flow. So we tap our chests, not beating them too hard, but we do it during the everyday prayers, as well as these long, specific enumerations of our sins on Yom Kippur. It's not supposed to be an act of deserved self-flagellation, but a symbolic gesture, signifying that we are engaged in an act of conscious reflection, and that even if we don't have all the words, we have the behavior, and it's the start of a change. But there is a line, a big one, between guilt and shame. And a few pages back in the Machzor, the translation referred to in the silent prayer about standing before the Holy One in embarrassment and shame. And I'd actually like to take issue with that. The acclaimed social scientist Brené Brown said, "Shame is a focus on self. Guilt is a focus on behavior. Shame means I am bad. Guilt means I did something for which I need to apologize." There's a very big difference between saying, "I'm sorry, I made a mistake," and "I'm sorry, I am a mistake." Guilt can help heal, but shame is disastrous. There is a crucial difference between feeling ashamed of our shortcomings and feeling shame about our existence, between tapping our hearts as a kind of spiritual defibrillation and flogging ourselves for our mistakes. But the difference can sometimes be difficult to discern. I want to thank some of the teachings of a fine educator, Adam Sokloff, for helping focus my thoughts in this direction. Friends, there is entirely too much shame being dumped on the Jewish family these days, and on the state of Israel in particular. I will not for one moment say that we are a mistake or that we deserve this. And I won't let any of you say the same thing either, despite what so many would have us do. Many years ago, I saw a movie that stayed with me and haunts me to this day. It was the 1999 Academy Award-winning movie, Boys Don't Cry. Hilary Swank won the Oscar for her portrayal of Brandon Teena, a trans young man who wanted nothing more than to live and to love authentically. And in the rural setting where they were, when Brandon's born gender was made known, he was attacked brutally and ultimately murdered. It is a true story, and that's the very short version. But there is a scene in that movie that has been echoing in my heart for the last year. I wish it would go away, but I can't seem to make it. Before Brandon is brutalized, these thuggish, toxically masculine brutes in his town explained to him why they were about to do what they were going to do. They tried to make Brandon understand that his existence was so upsetting to the natural order of things as they saw it, that they needed to do this. And before they proceeded with their heinous crime, they made Brandon say, "Yes, I understand. I know why you have to do this." It's dramatized for the script, but for the eyewitnesses who were there, it is very close to verbatim. 25 years later, there is so much dehumanization in our society, so much attempt to make people say, "Yes, I understand why you need to do this to me. I deserve it." We don't. We don't. We have made mistakes. Yes. Each of us, our government, Israel and its government, we are human. And that is the most powerful lesson of Yom Kippur. We are human, but we have such potential to rise above this material shell and put something beautiful into the world. The Jewish people do not deserve this. The state of Israel does not deserve this. I will not let us be shamed into acceptance of what we are seeing and what we are feeling. It is unacceptable. We hold a mirror to our souls tonight. Like the rabbi in this Hasidic fairy tale so masterfully asserted to that thuggish bully at the door that even he was created in the divine image. All human beings, all children of God have worth. I am not ashamed of it, and neither must you be, friends. When we hold this mirror to our souls tonight and in the days to come, let us make a pledge to let our reflections be holy, our countenances radiant. You are each a manifestation of the source of being. Yes, we have erred, but let us begin tonight together to do the holy task of transformation. Again, now, tomorrow, and always. Am Yisrael Chai, and Gamar Tov.